go. 3, 2, 1. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please proceed. Just an announcement, Supervisor Tracy Olson, a personal matter, will not be attending tonight's meeting. And for the solicitor, we have Keith Mooney from, are you from? Well, also, for the announcements, we have Resolution 2-2012, Scott Steels and Vincent Drive is recording tonight's meeting and posting on YouTube. And tonight's meeting is Board of Supervisors meeting Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. We also have people on the Zoom session. Welcome. Now we'll go to our open forum. On this side of the floor, any questions, comments on this evening's agenda? Have you heard none? On this side of the room, any questions or comments about the agenda? I've heard none. We'll move ahead. Zoom. Anyone on Zoom? Questions, comments? None. None noted. Okay, consent agenda. We have items 1 to 12. I did read through Board of Supervisors workshop meeting, and on the old business, there was a couple of comments in there. I wasn't quite clear on it, so I'm not going to approve that item 1. I'll approve 2 through 12. So I'll make a motion for item 1. I said there were some comments on
the other business.
Okay, for the yes. All right.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Items 2 through 12. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now we'll move to our department reports and the Westchester County Council of Governments. So we have a meeting on Wednesday, I believe that's the 25th. It'll start at 6:45 here in this building. So Huntingburg Township will be hosting this month. And then at 7 o'clock will be the regular meeting. So at 6:45 will be an Environmental Advisory Committee meeting for the Westchester County Council of Governments. They have been discussing the trash issue throughout the region, but we can discuss that at that meeting. And the Zoom meeting will be available for anyone that would like to attend but can't make it in person.
What day is that again, John?
Last Wednesday, so I think that's the 25th. Can you double check that?
At what time?
And 6:45 is the committee meeting, 7 p.m. will be the business meeting for the COG. Okay. And for those who are not familiar, WCCCOG, Westchester County Council of Government. It's a regional group, so we have the opportunity to meet with over a dozen municipalities to discuss some of the regional issues. Public Works, so is that, I don't see Don here, so Kristy?
Yes, thank you. I have a report from Don. The road crew is wrapping up mowing for this season on the roadsides. They are still trimming trees and removing some dead trees along the roadside in some developments. And they are replacing pipe markers and signs that have faded. They are also preparing equipment for winter, which is coming. So that is all that Don has to report.
I understand there's some leftover salt from last year.
Yes. Everybody does.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Kristy. So we'll go to the administrative report. Go ahead.
Thank you. The Huntingburg Community Partnership met yesterday afternoon. This year they are going to help fund Halloween and Christmas parties that will be held at Township with some residents of the personal care facility with preschoolers from Little Mates. So that should be a good time. This is a new approach to the Make a Difference Day project that always seems to come so quickly on the heels of Harmony Day that it's really hard to coordinate a big project. So they're going to use some proceeds from Harmony Day to help with these other, these two parties to start with, and then as other projects come to their attention, they will, as a body, vote on those. The festivities at Harmony Day were discussed, and work will soon begin on plans for 2024. Did you know October is Riparian Buffer Month? How exciting. This according to the Penn State Extension, Penn State Agricultural and Environmental Center, and the Chesapeake Conservation Landscaping Council. You may ask, what is a riparian buffer? It is a fancy land use term for streamside forest. These prevent erosion, reduce flooding, provide habitat for wildlife in and near the water, create recreational opportunities, and filter pollutants. So they deserve a month of celebration. We have a website on our stormwater page that you can check out called Growing Great Buffers. The Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors, or PSATs as we like to call them, recently announced a scholarship program for high school juniors and seniors. Details of this program are on the website. They were just put up yesterday. And you may have noticed the Toys for Tots box that appeared in the lobby. This year, the township has offered to serve as a collection point and a distribution point for boxes. So if anybody owns a business or would like to have a nice box just like ours in their establishment, they're in the lobby, so help yourself. There's also some posters we can give you if you need those. Please consider donating a new toy or two. Last year's donations were quite sparse compared to 2021. And keep in mind that generally there is not a need for stuffed animals, as cute as they are to buy. There were far too many collected last year. But the need is great for toys in the under 2 category and the 8 and up category. So that is all I have.
Thank you, Kristy. Township manager report.
Just ask that the board accepts my written report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
The only thing is sometimes some of the updates, if you could either put them in the boxes or bold. I think there's times when we're reading, and I'm not sure if that's from the previous report or not. Okay, thank you. Land Preservation Committee, do we have an update?
All I can say is their next meeting is on October 17th, and that's the last one for 2023 before the January meeting.
All right. And that will be at 7 p.m. Thank you. Planning Commission. So I do see Gary in the audience. I see Mike. Mike, do you want to update?
Yeah, just real quick, good evening, everybody. I don't have anything to update for this coming month. We do have one item on the agenda, which we'll talk about under new business, but I don't believe we received anything for this month's or next upcoming planning commission meeting. Kristy?
That's correct at this point. No plans have been submitted.
Okay. So I have nothing else to add unless the other planning commissioners have something to add to the report.
None, no.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. We'll now go to Park and Rec.
You have Kevin from Park and Rec?
Yes.
Chair.
Park and Rec, we have a chair in this meeting, we have a secretary, and that's Summer Keel. We've discussed resurfacing, never started the resurfacing pickleball courts, and we have a letter that we sent to the board of supervisors on their read. On behalf of the Recreation and Parks Board, we would like to recommend the proposed project of redoing the basketball and tennis courts at James Oldgate Park. After an informal site visit on Thursday, August 31st, 2023, the committee came to the conclusion that the courts should be prioritized among the park repairs due to their popularity and current condition. Given the scope of the project, as outlined in Keystone Sports construction quote provided to us by Warren, we recommend the obtainment of additional quotes as well as the research of possible grant funding and or fundraising opportunities. Please let us know if we can be of assistance during this process of due diligence. While the court refers to our initial recommendation, our committee is preparing additional ideas for review, and we are looking forward to being involved in the revitalization of the park. That's Brook, Township, Recreation, and Parks Board. Yeah, and a couple things. I was at the park last night. There was 100-some people there. It was packed. No one had a bathroom, but there were a lot of people there. I walked over to the northeast corner, the dark corner where the playground is, and lo and behold, there was one child there, 10 or 11 years old, all by himself around 7 o'clock. It was a little dicey, but I know that we're trying to figure out that situation at that corner. I read, I'm studying, I have to say that I'm studying the Isedale Trail feasibility study, the Humboldt Park Master Plan, and the Recreations Park Open Space Greenway Comprehensive Plan 2020. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of planning going on here, guys.
It was.
Unbelievable. I have to say that whoever was on this board before us must have done an awful lot of work, and everybody up here whose names are on there. It's amazing amount of work. It's a lot of good information, actually.
Good.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And good luck in the appointment. All right. That takes care of our department reports. So now let's go to new business. So approve, not approve the list of bills for payment as prepared by the treasurer. Do I hear an approve?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. And I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Authorize, not authorize an additional contribution to the Brook Fire Company for the purchase of a 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe in the amount of $48,000 out of the general fund account number 411.540. Do I hear the motion to authorize?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Item 3, Joshua and Stephanie Stoltzfus, lot and add-on plan, number 2023-7, adding 42.11 acres. Okay, that's switch pages there. Acres to 413 September Road from Elmer and Rebecca Kaufman, 1373 Beaver Dam Road, parcels 22-10-8. All right. Mike, do you have any comment on that, or?
Yeah, it's a very simple project, actually. It's a subdivision of about 42 acres that's being given from one farm to another. So the one farm is actually being increased in size to 179 acres, and the residue farm would actually be reduced to 47 acres. So they're still well over the 20 acres that would be required in the ag district. Very simple administrative comments. The Planning Commission did review this and recommended a conditional final plan approval based on compliance with our review letter of September 19.
All right, thank you. Any questions on that? Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, let's move to item 4. Authorize, not authorize, Resolution 12-2023, reconfirming Honeybrook Township's intent to have the Chester County Treasurer collect the township real estate tax in 2024. Do I hear a motion to authorize?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's move to item 5, authorize not authorize resolution 13/20-23, authorizing resolution and signing authority for Honeybrook Community Library Keystone grant application. Do I hear a motion to authorize, or do you need a moment? Okay.
I'll make the motion.
All right. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 6, approve an extension of time request for Calvary Chapel Land Development 2023-1 on 5011 Horseshoe Pike, parcels 22-3-75.1 and 22-3-75 to December 13, 2023. We're asking for an extension. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Well, that was quick. We went through our new business. So I'm not seeing any other new business. There was one thing. I'm looking at the budget for 2024. I did mention earlier in the year an opportunity to support Honeybrook Borough Police, since they've been doing some follow-ups with the park. And I was talking in the amount of $12,000 or $1,000 a month. They had hired an additional resource, and they had to increase their taxes in order to accomplish that. So that's an item I would like to just throw out there for consideration for the 2024 budget. All right, there's no other old business covered. We're now at the open forum. Any other matters that you'd like to address? Yes, sir.
Clarence Whitfield, 75 Ridge Road. Who's responsible for enforcing this fact of mowing your grass clippings and leaves out on the highways?
Good question. So when people are blowing their discharge onto the road, and then when you're driving by, you have the chances.
Yeah, I've got one that's, he's got a little strip along the side of his field,
Yeah.
and he's mowing walnuts and everything else out onto the highway.
Well, as far as the enforcement is concerned, I mean, I don't think we warrant that the road crew is going out there following up on something like that. And
It's ridiculous, because I even seen one today, he's blowing his leaves out on the highway now. So we gotta do something.
was that on Beaver Dam Road?
No, this is open mine development.
All right.
Valerie Road, Ridge Road, Lamley Road.
I used to jog along there, so that's why I say that, because then I stopped by on the way and I talked to the homeowner. I'm not sure if I'm up to the jogging or that distance now. All right. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. All right. Anyone else on this side of the room? Hearing none? Okay. This side, go ahead.
Valerie Schultz, 165 Caitlin Court. I just had a question. When we talked at the workshop about the projects for 2024 for Parks and Rec, you guys mentioned that that $800,000 that got transferred from land preservation to Parks and Rec was all going to be transferred back. So what happens to the matching grant?
Well, what I was speaking to Kevin about the budget for 2024 and saying that we need to get the projects in place, and then we have a price tag for what Parks and Rec will need.
So do we lose that old matching grant though? That was already awarded?
We have, what is the deadline on the matching grant? Warren, do you know?
We're planning on building next year, and the grant will still be there.
So I
But to answer your question, where's the money matching coming from?
yeah.
So that will reflect in the 24 budget, but I think that at this point, and I'm going to just pause for a moment, we did receive extra funds through the PGLIT. That's one source of revenue for that. So we have to decide on our final budget when we put that together for public comment.
Because I believe, if I recall right, from the previous Parks and Rec Board, that their recommendation was that that matching grant should be used for Humble Park upgrade. So, you know, if we're going to try and avoid raising taxes, if we can focus on the Humble Park upgrade as the priority, which I think even the current board would agree seems to be the priority, I think that would be the preferable approach.
It's a good approach. Any questions on this side here? Just for the sake of Steve, would you both want to just introduce yourselves? I know who you are, but just want to.
So I'm Steve Kern, I'm the fire chief for Lincoln Fire Company.
Yes.
And I just want to thank you guys for what you did tonight. We have an aging command vehicle that is nickel and diming us and starting to rust,
Yeah.
and we starting to have problems with it. So that's what the Tahoe will be used for, as a command vehicle. So for those that don't know what that's for, when there's an incident, chief officer goes direct to the call, and they kind of get things rolling for the guys coming on the engines. And then if we have a larger incident, we coordinate with the other fire companies that are dispatched to assist us. So, it's, you know, it's a marked car, lights, it's safe for us, you know, for pulling up someone's driveway, they know, okay, this is someone from the fire company that's coming out.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
I'm Nathan Rowley, I'm the assistant fire chief. I got nothing to add from what he said.
I'm speaking for the board. You know, thank you very much for your work. You know, the pride of the community.
Thank you.
Anything else from this side of the room? I see another hand go up. Go ahead.
I have a question to ask the firemen, if I may.
Go ahead.
Knowing that there's big development coming through, more development coming through, we are a volunteer fire company, correct?
Correct, we're 100% volunteer.
Okay. Do you guys have sufficient amount of people to take care of a major fire in a trailer park? In a big housing development with all the houses are close together one by one?
I mean, as of right now, we are very fortunate. This community is very fortunate for the amount of manpower that we have. Obviously, we always rely on mutual aid. We provide mutual aid to a lot of departments. We went to Oxford last month for a 5-alarm fire.
Yeah.
The whole downtown burned down there. We sent an engine down there.
Yeah.
So we're always going to rely on mutual aid, but if we get a fire during the day, we're probably looking at least 20 volunteers coming out, leaving their jobs. A lot of that is due to the Amish.
Yes.
They're a big help. Our biggest concern is, you know, making sure we got drivers for the engines, but lately we've been doing pretty good with that. So we have a handful of guys that are career firemen elsewhere that work with shift work, and you know, we have a guy that works shift work down at the steel mill. So there's usually people around to get the engines out.
But personally, do you honestly feel or get worried that, oh my gosh, because a mobile home goes up in 5 minutes?
Correct. Yeah.
You know?
It does go quick. To answer your question, the Honeybrook Fire Company's in a good spot right now. That could always change. But when there's a household fire, it's not just the Honeybrook Fire Company that gets dispatched. There's the East Brandywine Fire Company, the Twin Valley Fire Department, Carnarvon Fire Company, Churchtown, White Horse Fire Company, Keystone Valley, Wagontown. I mean, it just depends where the fire's at. But, you know, it's not just the Honeybrook Fire Company that gets dispatched. So we rely on mutual aid, and they in turn rely on us.
Right.
But there is an increased call volume, but that's everywhere. I mean, it's not the Honeybrook community that is just growing. It's everywhere around here, and that in turn causes more calls.
Yeah.
There's another question that comes up from time to time, and I know it's not the fire company, but as far as the burning of the plastic wrapper for the feed on the farms. So the appropriate action is to call DEP, or are you aware of that?
There's actually a recycling program for those
Yes.
particular items. So they can
They should be
actually call the
recycled.
Solid
Yeah.
Waste Authority for
Yeah.
information.
Good.
Yeah, that's.
Because we do get that question from time to time.
That's
guys.
like a code enforcement.
Yeah,
Is the community aware of that though? Is that like widely advertised?
I think we have a website. Do we have that on the website?
I can absolutely add it.
Okay. All right. And the new website will be coming out soon. Okay. Thank you. Oh, Karen, yes.
Just one more thing, it's not very exciting. I'm a nurse working 12-hour shifts, and I get a text from the guy across the street who is my friend saying that someone ran right through my front yard, put down the damn sign, ran over to Jerry's, and almost hit Jerry's front of the house. What happened was, when my husband spoke to the policeman and said he was texting, he hit the sign saying the Cupola Road, turn right,
Yeah.
pulled back, jerked over, and ran right down into Jerry's, which is right next to mine. I'm tired of having people, vehicles, debris, me running out to make sure that everybody's okay, because there's got constant accidents there. I'm scared to even pull my own driveway, because I'm scared of getting hit, rear-ended, And that's because of all this, the volume of the cars, and they're not watching, they're not paying attention. We need some kind of support system from the police, or, something. I'm not saying they gotta work, 12-hour shifts 7 days a week, but something.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't see where we could have a patrolman, on a street corner. But the thought that popped in my head is with DEP, obviously, with the PennDOT, if there's any relief, sometimes they'll put the guardrail along those corners. I don't know if that's something that you want on your property or not.
I'm not even on a corner. I'm on a straightaway.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Question?
Just one more question. When will the 2024 budget be finalized?
So in November, it's presented to the public for comment, a 30-day comment period, and then in December meeting, that's when the board approves for 2024. It looks like that should do it for this evening. Thank you for attending this evening. All right. I missed on the Zoom. Any comments? You're on mute, Deb. Deb, we can't hear you. On mute.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes.
Good evening. I do have a comment, and it's in reference to the 800,000. 400,000 of that, I recall, has been approved. It went through the process quite a while back. And when this first came up several months ago, and I had checked my notes and everything, and looked at that. It has been approved, yes. There was, as I recall, some type of in the books that said you were allowed to do that. I am asking, as a resident and a taxpayer, that at least $400,000 of that be looked at and get the facts on how that transpired and everything. I realize that we are up against a timeline, but last week it was also brought up that, we maybe would have to get a loan. I can't imagine why we should get a loan. And I'm just asking that we have knowledge of people who were involved back at the time, take a serious look at that and we get the facts before we get at least 400,000 of that back. I really think that it's warranted, and I'm just requesting as a resident and a taxpayer of Honeybrook Township.
Taxpayer, you don't pay that.
It is an item that you could bring up at the land preservation meeting on October 17th.
Okay,
All right.
okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, at this point, if there's no further questions, comments, we're good. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Our upcoming meetings, we have October 17th, land preservation. October 19th, we have the Park and Rec meeting. We have October 26th, Planning Commission. Also on the 25th is the COG meeting. November 1st, the Board of Supervisors workshop meeting. And then on November 8th, the Board of Supervisors regular meeting. Also, if you want to know that on November 5th, 2 p.m., Tell High, there'll be the Veterans Ceremony at 2 p.m. The public is welcome to attend. Last year, I think we had close to 300 people attending that event.
Just a note about the planning commission meeting, if no variance applications or anything come in, it is entirely likely that that meeting would be canceled.
Good.
But, so stay tuned.
So, question on that. So, we do post that on the website, but do we also trigger that on the Ready Cheska?
We do.
Yes, thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight. You have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.